877-75 or visit homeserve.com.
Hi, I'm Jackie, and this is The Real Real. It's the destination for authenticated luxury resale, which means you can get a Gucci bag like me for up to 90% off retail and shop 10,000 new arrivals every day. Get $25 off your first purchase on The Real Real.
Please bear with me. What? Be right back again. Be right back, guys. I just started. I just started my live stream. You didn't even give me the chance to log into my account.
Come on. I know you too well. I told you Dad would be here. Hoping that each other.
I'm a bit low on energy because of someone.
Please stop trying to cheer me up. It's way too depressing. Come on, you gotta show me some of those legendary dance moves. May I have this dance? Isn't it obvious? This is me winning back the best thing that's ever happened to me.
So, I recently watched, Paw Patrol the movie. I watched it last night. What? I had headphones on. I think raspberry and orange. No. Again, you wouldn't want it. It's sour. It's a sour patch kid lollipop. Yes. Now I'm trying to do my daily task. I'm waiting. Look, I'm now like that. I'm saving the best candy for last. Caramel. No. Caramel chocolate. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. What? What? Honey pretzels. Ugh! I don't know where it is. I see it. cornbread. I got cornbread. Yep. What? Yes? Apple turnover. I can't. I'm playing the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Searching the hut, you find nothing.
Proactive is a lie. Like when I had acne, I used Proactive and it never got rid of the acne. What? Ugh. 1223.
You got them back, I'm sure. There, I've made them. Hurry to Sir Pike and tell him to apply this salve to his wounds. It will neutralize the venom at once.
There's the Hydra mount.
I'm not dead yet. You got the salve? Oh, that feels much. The great wizard Merle Ambrose. He lives along the high road, but I'm not sure. Greetings, wizard. Scribe Francis Lux, who works in the Standing Tower in Abbey Road, can tell you about it. Speak to him to learn more.
Be still, my beating heart. Sir, can you find the bags of grain in the high road and bring them back? Once the supplies are secured, I'll help you find Sir Perry.
Hello, wizard. Sir Pike was telling you about the great tapestry of Avalon's history. The tapestry was commissioned by before. Greetings, youngs.
Oh my god. it's hot. Ah! I was trying to avoid that from happening.
Now the good folk here will be able to Let me help you find Sir Perry Gilliam. His cottage is on the high road, a short way past the Wood Witch, Fiona Yellowknife.
Did the test today, the doctor will be there tomorrow. I gotta go to bed.
Cursed wolf! Oh, wait, you're not a red. The fire spitter's spawn must be vanquished. They live in a poisoned well near her cave. Do this and survive.
Please don't tell me. Oh, come on. I do have to defeat all three of them at the same time. Yeah. No. I said sandwich. I said. Thank you. You know why?
What? I know
I'm dead.
The beast moon rises. It is time for a great hunt to begin. Meet me in the Wizard City Arena, or click the Gamma button at the top of the screen.
The sleep.
I wrote my ankle.
Ah, excellent. I can handle.
Aye, Rand set up, and now, thanks to you, I'm dressed for the part. Thanks, wizard.
stuff, you gotta be in an area of the spiral population. Clicking the fish. And so are you when you use.
$1,000 in life insurance coverage, starting at just $6.38 a month.
Have you brought the 2 daggers of absolution I asked you to make? If you don't have both of them, I can't help you, dearie.
You found all the spellbooks? Many thanks, my whiz. And tell the undead to watch out, cause Captain Rossum is back.
sounds exhausting. Yeah, the tubing thing is kind of annoying.
No, it's fine. I've actually brought in a little extra help.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I hired somebody just to be safe, but Logan
Ugh.
will handle your move, and then I'll be over as soon as I can. But don't worry, we got everybody covered.
Thank you. So, how about the Great Seattle Challenge? Have you fallen in love with the city, or is Farrell here maybe to Scottsdale for free?
Good question, though.
The city has definitely surprised me. How's that? A little vague.
But you still got 2 more days before you have to deliver your final verdict, and I still have one more thing.
One more thing.
Don't worry, it'll be
Okay.
at the auction, and it won't take
So I'm only gonna read chapter 10.
Scottsdale myself.
You would give up, dude.
Where's the fun in that?
Okay, I don't want to break up the party, but I should probably get going.
Yeah, me too. Alright.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Hey. Thank you. I don't think I
So
would
yeah.
do this without you.
Me neither.
Ben nervously fiddled with the beast's head ring on his finger as he waited for the council members to come in and take their seats around the king's conference table later that morning. His father's advice rang in his ear. Keep a strong hand, show him who's king. He flexed his own fingers, thinking of his father's fist. His father didn't mean it literally, but Ben was worried nonetheless. He supposed he would just have to improvise. Ready, Sire? Lumiere asked. Ben took a deep breath and tried to sound as serious as possible. Yes, let them in, thank you. Lumiere bowed, even though it had been a long time since he had been enchanted and turned into a candelabrum. There was something about him that still resembled one, and for a moment Ben could easily imagine 2 small flames flickering on his outstretched palms. Lumiere knows who he is, and he's happy being Lumiere. Is it really so much more complicated to be a king than a candelabrum? The thought was for a moment comforting to Ben, but then the council entered the room and he found there was nothing comforting about the sudden sight of the royal advisors. In fact, they're pretty terrifying, Ben thought. He didn't know why. They were chatting amicably enough, discussing last night's tourney scores, and whose fantasy tourney league was winning. Seats were taken, gossip exchanged, goblets of spiced cider passed around, as well as a plate or 2 of the castle kitchen's sugar cookies. Representing the sidekicks were the usual 7 dwarfs, still wearing their mining clothes and stocking hats. Seated next to the dwarfs, or rather sitting along the edge of a book of Oladon civic rules and regulations that lay on the table nearest them, because they were much too small to take any seat at all, were the very same mice who had helped Cinderella win her prince: Folly Jack, Chubby Gus, and Sweet Mary. The rodent portion of the advisory board tended to speak in small, squeaky tones that could be hard for Ben to understand without the communicator in his ear, which translated every Even at the table was wearing one of the clever hearing devices, one of the few magical inventions allowed in the kingdom. The mice's squeaks, the Dalmatians' barks, and Flounder's burbling were all translated so that they could be understood. Beyond the mice, a few of Ariel's sisters. Ben could never remember which was which, especially as their names all started with A, and Flounder splashed alone in their own copper bathtub, wheeled in by a very unhappy Cogsworth, who grimaced every time the slightest bit of water sloshed over the edge. Mind the splashing, please. I only just had this floor mopped. You do know this isn't a beach resort, do you not? Precisely, it's a council meeting, a royal council, the former clerk trumpeted, blowing his R's with great fanfare. Adrena, or was it Adela, only laughed and flicked him with her great weapons. Rounding out the other side of the table were the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, looking apple-cheeked and cheery in their green, red, and blue hats and capes, seated next to the famed blue genie of Agrabah. They were comparing vacation notes. The fairies were partial to the forest meadows, while the genie preferred the vast deserts. I guess we should get started, Ben ventured, clearing his throat. No one seemed to hear him. The mice roared with laughter, falling onto their backs and rolling across the Urdanian law book. Even Pongo and Perdita of the Free DeVille Dalmatian contingent joined in the laughter with a little lively barking. All told, it was a friendly group, or so it seemed. Ben began to relax, and why shouldn't he? Unlike the infamous villains trapped on the Isle of the Lost, the good citizens of Oregon looked as if the last 20 years hadn't aged them one bit. Ben had to admit it. Every one of the royal counselors looked just like they had in the photographs he had studied of the founding of Oregon. The mice were still small and cute, the Dalmatians sleek and handsome, the mermaids, whatever their names, remained as fresh as water lilies, and the good fairies burst with good health. Even the infamous genie of Agrabah had toned down his usual hypomanic performance. Dopey was still his mute, charming self, and while Doc may have had a few more white hairs than before in his beard, Grumpy looked almost cheerful, except for one thing. What, no cream cakes? Grumpy grabbed a sugar cookie, glaring at the plate. It's a meeting, not a party, Doc said, harumping. Well, it's certainly not a party now, Grumpy said, examining a cookie. There isn't even a currant or a chocolate chip. We're already discussing budget problems today. As I was saying, Ben interrupted, moving the plate of cookies away from Grumpy. Welcome, welcome everyone. I hereby declare this meeting of the King's Council officially open. Shall we begin? Asked Ben. Heads nodded around the table. Ben glanced down at the note cards he had hidden beneath his right hand. Hopefully he was doing this correctly.
I guess Rob knows most of Seattle. Look at all these people. Yeah, it's impressive.
He called. Excellent. Well then. Don't we need to wait for your dad, kid? Genie asked, putting his feet up on the table. Now that magic was discouraged in Oradon, the genie had taken physical form and was no longer a floating cloud. Yeah, where's King Beast? Flounder piped up. Isn't your father joining us today, Ben? Perdita asked gently. Color crept into Ben's face. No, sorry, my dad, King Beast has asked me to run the meeting this morning. Everyone's dead, the mice set up. Grumpy let the cookie drop. Anyway, Ben cleared his throat and tried to affect a confidence he did not feel. On to business. He was stalling. He looked at the stack of papers in front of him, petitions and letters and applications and motions from sidekicks from every corner of the kingdom. Show them who is king. That's what my father said. He tried again. In my role as future king of Oradon, I've studied your petitions, and while I appreciate your suggestions, I'm afraid that our petitions? Are you talking about the Sidekicks Act? Grumpy sounded annoyed. Yes, I'm afraid we cannot recommend granting these petitions as... Who's we? Asked Mary. Dopey looked confused. I guess I mean me. What I mean to say is I've taken your suggestions for change, but it doesn't look like they can be approved as... One of the mermaids tilted her head. Not approved? Why not? Ben became flustered.
Oh, did you get my text?
Well, because
If it's too late, I totally get it. I just thought...
No. We can still do that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, sure. That's what you want.
Doc shook his head. I'm sorry, son, but have you ever even set foot outside this castle? What do you know about the whole kingdom? For instance, our goblin cousins on the Isle of the Lost would like forgiveness. They've been exiled for a long time. All around the table, the counselors began to murmur in low tones. Ben knew the meeting had taken a turn for the worse, and he desperately began to review his options. There was nothing on his note cards about what to do in the case of council revolt. 1. What would my dad do? 2. What would my mom do?
Okay, that's the last of it. So, what do you say we get this stuff out there?
It's not just pretty, it's versatile. And added bonus, it doesn't take up much room in the closet, so it really is.
How does she think I should bid? Whatever you want. Just depends on how much you want.
I run for it? What would that do? Ben was still evaluating option number 3 when Grumpy spoke up. If I may interrupt, Grumpy said, looking the exact opposite of, well, Mary, who sat next to him. As you know, for 20 years, we dwarfs have worked the mines, gathering jewels and diamonds for the kingdom's crowns and scepters. For many, a prince and princess in need of wedding gifts or coronation attire. Ben turned even redder, looking at the polished gold buttons on his own shirt. Grumpy glared at him pointedly, then continued, and for 20 years, we have been paid zilch for our efforts. Now, Mr. Grumpy, said Ben, sir. It's just Grumpy, huffed Grumpy.
My paycheck was just deposited into my Greenlight account. Greenlight is so convenient. You know, we had to use a vacuum tube.
Ben looked at the mice. May I? Be my guest, said Gus, hopping down.
Wow, what is this place?
Ben pulled the Oregon law book free from beneath the mice, sending a few rodents rolling. He turned to a chart in the appendices at the back of the thick book. Okay then, Grumpy, as a citizen of Oregon, it looks like you and the rest of the dwarfs have been granted 2-month vacations, 20 holidays, and unlimited sick days. He looked up. Does that sound right? More or less, Doc, said Grumpy, folded his arms with another glare. Ben looked relieved, closing the book. So you can't say you've been looking for exactly 20 years, can you?
It's real. Here's what real customers.
The math is beside the point, young man, or shall I call you young beast? Grumpy shouted from behind Doc, who was doing his best to shove his own stocking cap into Grumpy's mouth. Prince Ben will do, Ben said with a thin smile. No wonder the dwarf was called Grumpy. Ben had never met such a cantankerous person. If I can interject, and I don't mean to offend, but really bit tired of being without a voice and without a contract, Bashful spoke up.
Okay, alright, I'm all set. Thank you. I'm so glad you won it, but we gotta get going. We got 2 moves today. Alright. Hey, are you sure you don't want to Lawrence? After?
At least Ben thought that was his name, if only from how red he turned as he spoke.
Yes. Okay.
You're here now, aren't you? I don't believe you can call that being without a voice, can you? Ben smiled again. 2 for 2, boom. Maybe I'm better at this king stuff than I thought.
Yeah, way more than I want to. But, you know,
But what will happen to our families when we retire? Bashful asked, not looking convinced. I'm sure my father has a plan to take care of everyone, Ben said, hoping it was true.
even if I don't want to. Okay.
A voice squeaked up from the table. Ben leaned forward to listen. And has anyone noticed that we sidekicks do all the work in this kingdom?
All right. Now, I know that you are going to say that I am crazy, but really,
Since the fairy godmother found some magic, we must make all the dresses, Mary said indignantly. The little mouse had climbed back up on the law book to make herself heard by Paul. That's very, Ben began, but he was cut off. He was no longer in charge of the room. That much was clear. Not to mention the woodland creatures who do all the housekeeping for Snow White, added Jack. They aren't too happy about it either. Mary nodded. Plus, Snow White needs a whole new wardrobe. As she's replaying on the coronation soon. Your coronation, I might add. Ben searched desperately through the papers in front of him. Every citizen has the right to file a... I still collect everything for Ariel, burbled Flounder. Her treasures have grown. But what do I have to show for any of it?
They're not hiring editorial anymore.
Well, so what? They certainly weren't looking to hire your grandmother, but she made it work.
Because she was a great writer.
No, because she followed her passion, which may not be yours. Sweetheart, you've got to do what comes
Ben tried again. You have the knowledge that what you do is very much appreciated. Flounder kept going, and the mermaids give undersea tours all year round without taking a penny. Even in the busy season, Ariel's sisters nodded indignantly, their shimmering tails splashing water all over the table from the bathtub. Cogsworth slapped a hand over his eyes while Lumiere squeezed his arm in support. Ben nodded. Well, that is certainly something worth further considered. And if I might add, living without magic has taken a toll on our nerves, sighed Merryweather. Flora can't sew, Fauna can't bake, and I can't clean without our wands. You'll find our petition at the end there, dear boy. Flora shoved it into Prince Ben's face, and he sat back in his chair, surprised.
We've got 5 minutes. The board members just signed in. That didn't feel like 5. I know you only have a second. So, I get it. Changing what you've been known, what you've been working towards. But I also think I have a pretty strong point of view, so if it doesn't work for you, I'll take it somewhere. I'm sorry, but if you're tight on space, you're gonna have to make some tough fashion choices.
Fauna chimed in. Well, we appreciate all that the fairy godmother has done. We can't see why just a little magic might not be useful. But is there really any such thing as a little? Ben began. Pongo sat up. And not to sound weary, but Purdy and I are a bit fatigued after caring for 101 Dalmatians, said Pongo, in that rich, elegant voice of his. If only there were 101 hours in the day, Purdy yawned. I could at least sleep for 5 of them. Imagine that. Mary the Mouse nodded sympathetically, patting Purdy's paw with her own. A blur of blue appeared in Ben's face. To put it bluntly, Prince Ben.
I'm sorry about Leslie.
This blows, said Jeannie, who blew him a mocking kiss. The dwarfs applauded wildly. Ariel's sisters tittered, and now the water in the tub was boiling like a small tsunami. Cogsworth left the chamber in a hump, and even Lumiere motioned for Prince Ben to cut the meeting short, if only Ben knew how. The room began to dissolve into absolute chaos as the sidekicks and dwarfs began to shout at one another, while the good fairies kept on complaining about the back-breaking work even ordinary chores now entailed, and all the rest of the company advocated for relief from their own grievances.
In my new job, it seems. I told you, organization is kind of my thing. Guess I'm kind of funny. Julia wants more videos from me. So,
You really want to stay?
It was hard to pick out one from the next, Ben thought as he sunk down in his chair. Try not to panic. Breathe, he told himself. Breathe and think. But it was impossible to think amid the ruckus in the room. The mermaids complained that the tourists left their trash everywhere. The dwarfs whined that no one liked to whistle while they worked anymore. Pongo and Perdita balked about the stress of having to pay for 101 college educations, and even Jeannie looked bluer than usual. Ben covered his ears. This wasn't a meeting anymore. It was an all-out brawl. He had to shut it down before people started throwing things. Or mice. What would my father do? What does he expect me to do? How could he put me in this situation and expect me to know what to do? The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. Finally, Ben stood up. No one cared. He climbed on top of his chair and still nobody noticed him. That's it. His father told him to be kingly and kings were heard. Enough, he yelled from the top of the table. This meeting is adjourned. A shocked silence filled the room. Ben just stood there. Okay, phew, it's not just me. Why, I never, growled Purdy. How rude to speak to us in such a way. Impertinent and ungrateful, that's for certain, sniffed for. Why, that does it, said Grumpy. Where's King Beast? We're not deaf. Don't you know your manners, son? My word, we've never been treated so poorly, Merryweather fluttered. The dwarfs and sidekicks left the room, shooting Ben wary glances as they filed out. The mermaid stopped and made a point of sloshing water on the floor. Reading. Yes. As Lumiere was left to drag them away, shaking his head.
She's reading.
The mice turned their noses up as they walked past without so much as a squeak. The Dalmatians held their tails high, and even Dopey gave the prince a silent look. Ben hung his head, embarrassed by his actions. He had tried to lead like his father, and he had failed. He hadn't been able to table the petition, and he hadn't been able to inspire confidence in the King's Council. If anything, he had made the situation worse. Which is why I would make a terrible king, Ben thought. As he climbed down from his father's council room table, he hadn't proven himself. He'd only proven one thing. That Prince Ben wasn't fit to wear the royal beast head ring that was currently on his finger.
You made quite the team. Yes, you did. You know, I plan on coming back once my contract is up. So, how's your mom? She's still Boston's Queen of Flowers? Oh, she is. She's always wonderful, you know, running her flower shop. So nice to have you back here. Yeah. Are you going to stay and run the company as your father had hoped? keys to the cabinet.
Tomorrow will be chapters 11 and 12.
You have a 2 o'clock with the packagers today. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need a coffee. There's a cafe just by the distributor's office. If you leave now, you might just get there on time. Okay, perfect. And the mock-up for Valentine's Day will be ready in a few days. Perfect. Thank you. Yes, Sky will be ready for Valentine's.
So yeah, that's it. Bye guys.